Does any of the cancellations like shock you guys? Because the only thing that shocked me was Perfect Dark until I saw the reports about apparently the showcase. Everwild's not shocking. Like, dude, how long has that thing been announced and nothing on it? The game apparently got rebooted. Like, that's not surprising.
Well, even Perfect Dark, I'm not too surprised about because I mean, Perfect Dark was announced 5 years ago.
Yeah,
And we've still got
It's
Jack
like
Hall.
we saw the one showcase of it, which I mean, even from that showcase, Zach's was suspicious of it.
yeah, he was. I
it's like-
remember that.
From then, it's like we got that showcase. It's been what over a year,
I think 2 years
or
by now.
like over a year.
Was it
2
last
years?
year's showcase or the year before?
A year before.
Was it? Oh.
So it's like it's been 2 years of nothing. So it's like if it was actually far enough along to where like that showcase would have been like actual in-engine stuff and not just pre-rendered,
Mhm.
they'd have to have something else to show.
Right.
But the fact that we haven't heard anything in such a long time, it's like I'm not necessarily surprised. I'm surprised that the first thing we hear is, "Oh yeah, it's gone. It's dead. Team's done. Everything like that, all in
Yeah.
one go."
Yeah,
You
studio's
would
done.
assume it would happen over a series of announcements.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, it'd just it's one where you don't hear about something for 2 years after you see something that looks really good. It's like, okay, something had to be wrong there.
Right.
I was about to say the only real surprising one for me is the Forza Motorsport.
Oh yeah,
Just-
it's been a staple.
Yeah, just because it's been a stable game and for them for years, even just them expanding into like the Forza Horizons and the
Yeah.
Motorsport, doing them separate. So, which brings up the question: is it just specifically Motorsport, or are they still planning on doing Horizon?
Horizon's still a thing. So
Yeah.
basically, with the 50% of Turn 10 that's still available, they've now just been shifted over to support for Forza Horizon.
That's unfortunate because, I mean, having the Motorsport and Horizon like every other year was sort of nice. Of just having the free form version of Horizon versus the like actual circuit
Yeah.
Motorsport.
I think it's. I mean, it sucks to say, but I think it kind of makes sense that that Motorsport's the one to get
Yeah,
cut
I mean,
because
yes.
especially like in the last 5 or 6 years, Forza Horizon has exploded in popularity.
Oh, most
Yeah.
definitely.
Now, people were saying that Forza Horizon 5 was robbed for a Game of the Year nominee.
Yeah,
when
I
it
mean-
came out a few years
Oh,
ago.
I'm not-
I mean, I got into it like last year pretty good. It's a fantastic game.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not surprised by of the two which one did get cut. It's
Yeah,
just
yeah, yeah.
surprising
It's
that
unfortunate that it's
yeah.
happened.
Yeah, that's the thing, is that it's just gone in general.
yeah, because mostly everything else. I mean, as you said, Everwild and Perfect Dark, we've really just heard absolutely nothing about them recently, besides just supposed reports, which, as we now know, were just full of smoke.
Right.
And then I mean, all the other studios and whatnot. I mean, I'm not personally aware of many projects they were working on, like Romero Games and things like that.
Their game wasn't announced yet.
Yeah,
It
that's
was just like, hey, made
We're
a new
working on
studio.
something.
Like, hey, I know you helped found like ID Soft, so
Yeah.
Xbox was publishing their game for them.
Gotcha.
Which them ending the publishing deal essentially shut down the entire studio. Kind of similar to the Casey Hudson. He had a whole new studio where he was going to make a new sci-fi game, but he couldn't get the publishing for it. So his whole studio is now already gone and the game's canceled. So it's kind of the same thing with John there. So
I mean, I guess yeah, it's sort of the thing of just like from the main thing that we're getting was like most of these we hadn't actually seen anything on the consumer level. It was all still behind the scenes level.
yeah, like the MMO, for example.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's like top to bottom sucks, right?
Yeah.
9,000 jobs laid off, and we've had layoffs from Xbox every single year at this point. It's just been the constant downsizing. I saw someone who recently quote tweeted this news that popped out where they worked for Activision Blizzard,
Mm-hmm.
and they very clearly still bitter. Because they were part of the layoffs of Activision Blizzard when it happened like last year, and they're just like, yeah, after the acquisition, Phil Booty and Sarah Bond walked in to Activision Blizzard with smiles, handshakes, inspirational speech about trust and togetherness, and building the future, just to lay us off like 2 months later, or something like that. It's just like, oof, bad luck, brother. But again, especially with the reports that Microsoft, is wanting to invest all of these saved funds into AI and building the future of AI, it kind of puts in perspective that, Xbox is just kind of the punching bag here because
Yeah.
it's like, they're just kind of being told, hey, you gotta cut and save money. Pick your places where to save it. One thing, to kind of circle back on is something that you said, Zach. It was like all the projects ultimately got canned. It is kind of like the consumer level stuff of stuff that we haven't really seen updates on or seen a
Yeah.
lot on or even seen at all. So I mean, like if it's one of those things where Microsoft comes down like, hey, budget cuts, here's what you got to get rid of. Pick your poison, pick what you want to get rid of. Then I
Well,
guess the stuff they picked, I guess to an extent makes an unfortunate amount of
well,
sense.
the other thing is like, so say like Forza Motorsports. It's kind of it like Zach said, it was kind of a staple you expected to see every other year. It's like it's one where I don't know how popular that game was, but that game probably just made money because people love like the people that love it.
Yeah.
And then it's like if you're canceling Everwild, if you're canceling Perfect Dark, what the hell do you have at Xbox?
It
It's like
stands nothing.
these are your like the big games people have been waiting on news for 5 years. You just canceled.
Right.
And
then
you've
they
got
ju-
nothing to show for it. You
And
got
then they just
nothing.
laid off people from the studios of Gears, which is the other main franchise people have been waiting to hear.
They even laid off people from Call of Duty studios,
Yeah.
Ravensoft and Sledgehammer. Like, jeez.
It's like if your whole like Xbox's whole push for the last decade has been Game Pass. Problem is, you can push Game Pass as much as you want to. If you cancel all of your big projects, you got nothing to put on Game Pass.